All right, what's up, everyone? Um, Breaking news, as you guys can see, Zuma is reportedly going to leave Chelsea. So, you guys, you know, remember, welcome to the stream, welcome slash video, and I'm joined here by Lookman, and I'm also joined here by someone whose mic isn't connected and the camera isn't as well, so I can't add them. So, UZ5 and could you connect your device? You have to allow your mic and your cam access to StreamYard so I can allow you to join the stream. But welcome, Lookman, and thanks for coming on at short notice because this was an immediate stream. This was a last minute one. I wasn't planning to do this, but breaking news has come out that Zuma is reportedly going to leave the club, so I had to do it. So welcome. Are you there? Your um your audio is a
Hello.
bit shaky.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure it was glitching. It was glitching.
Your audio is really shaky. But this is a I'm going to remove you and then add you back. Um, right. All right. So what I was basically saying is that this one is a difficult one before because Zuma any Chelsea fan is aware that on the front Lampard Zuma was he was one of the first he was one of the starters in terms of defenders. And Thomas Fu came in. He played him in a few games. He was a bit shaky when he was required to progress the ball forward, and sometimes he was caught off position. Southampton is a perfect example, and he lost concentration, and that was a weakness that some people might not like to say, but was covered by Frank Lampard's system that he was playing. And Zuma has fallen down the pecking order, so he hasn't really been playing games as much as Rudiger has become that pairing, especially in the back three with Zuma, sometimes Thiago Silva, Christensen being rotated. So as a result, this has come as a surprise because I mean, looking at it now, there's not really much defenders that Chelsea could be looking for at such short notice at this point. So it's a difficult situation. UZ5, and I can see you backstage, but your device is not connected. You have to allow the mic and cam access to StreamYard in order for me to add you and for it to work perfectly. But what I'm saying, guys, is that there's not really much defenders you can really look at to say, oh, who's going to be a perfect backup to get to Thiago Silva, Christensen, Rudiger. Some people might say Mark Gohi is probably a shout, and people are gonna probably look at Wayamba as well, who we got from Barcelona's academy system. So it's difficult. You think about it. Yeah, big up DJ Sam. I know this is much to ask, but can you are you able to join me? Are you able to join me for this discussion because I know you were cut off before you could finish what you were saying on my other stream on my other channel. So if you can join me, I'm not sure if you can see this. If you can see this coming, if you can see it, then you can tell me, and you can probably join me there. Oh, okay. I see you, Shan. I see you, Shan. I get that. If you can see the comments, DJ Sab, you can join me. Give me your 2 cents because I knew you were cut off before you could finish your sentence. So, I get that your computer isn't allowing you to join, but you're using a computer. So do you see like a you can private chat me and tell me if you see a like a lock that's beside the link streamyard.com. So click it and then see if the permissions is there. No, you don't see in the chat. You don't see in the chat on DJ Sam. I might have to DM you the link. So yeah yeah yeah, I'm back because I couldn't finish that stream properly because my audio was working, so I had to get another device to do the stream. So if you guys can join me, I'm gonna send the link in the Baggy TV Twitter group chat, so you guys can look for it there. I'm gonna send the link there. But what I was saying, guys, is that it's a difficult situation with Zuma. You'll have a lot of Chelsea fans who will be on the fence for this situation. Some will want him gone because they'll say that he doesn't suit Tuchel's system and it's best for him to join a club where he will be used in a formation that will suit him, and most likely that's going to be a back four. And what we're seeing on my other channel on the stream I was doing surrounding the Euros, and when the breaking news came out, I was saying that and what the panelists that I had were saying was that Roma and Tottenham and Everton were the three clubs that were reportedly interested in getting Zuma. So as a result, that means that the best option for him, if he wants to stay in England and play, then the best option would be Everton because he's used to playing for Everton. Obviously, he'll be a different manager, so who knows? And especially with the manager being who he is, probably a back three. I'm not sure how that will work out unless the manager, if I'm not mistaken, I think Nuno will be the new manager of Everton. So if he decides to bring his back three philosophy to Everton, will that suit Zuma as well? So you have to think about things like that as well. And if he's going to not continue with the back three system that he tends to use, then the perfect fit would be for Zuma to go to Everton instead of Spurs because Spurs are on a decline, and it took them a very long time to find a manager who is willing to join them. So as a result, it's going to be difficult for them. But I'm gonna send the link to you guys in that group chat so you guys can probably can look if you see it. So okay I see that some other people are talking in the chat like Burton Boys and everybody so I sent the link so if you guys can tell him that if he can still join, that is to join, so that's if he can still join. But this was a last minute stream, so I had to do it a last minute. So if you guys can check the chat, you can tell Burton Borders that I'm doing a stream right now, so you can probably look in the chat if you see it. Okay, I see you, Bobby. Okay, so welcome to the stream, Bobby.
Hi, Tyrone. Hi. I'm not on too long, unfortunately. I just thought I'll pop in and not leave you on your own there. Try and see if I
Yeah,
can contribute anything to the chat. Thanks for having
yeah,
me.
yeah. So Zuma. I was saying a bit about him, with Frank Lampard, and the difference between what happened on a Lampard and Tuchel. He followed the team on the Tuchel and everything. So what are your thoughts on this report that has come out?
I'm. I don't know. My feelings. I've never been one that has advocating for Zouma to leave the club. Zouma came to Chelsea as a teenager, and he's been at the club for a long time. He has fought his way into the first team after having a terrible injury at one time. He went away to Everton. He got himself fit and came back the next season. And if I remember rightly, that was probably the successful Conte season or the successful Mourinho season, one or the other. I can't remember now. So I've always been a fan of Zouma. Zouma is better on the ball than he looks, because of his sort of gangly way of running, he may tend to look a bit clumsy, and sometimes there's a bit of a mistake in him. So fans are impatient with him. But I look at Zuma's positives. His recovery is excellent. His scoring from set pieces with his head is excellent. His overall defensive quality is excellent. He's fast, he's strong, he's tall, he's a good defender. So I'm not keen to see the back of Zouma at all. However, if having to sell Zouma means one of two things, that we are in a stronger position to get Haaland, and or we are looking at a replacement that is a slight upgrade, like Topsiba, or I don't look at Varane as an upgrade. Some people might do, I don't know, but personally, I don't think he's better than Zouma in the Chelsea system. Then, with those two options, it might be a sacrifice worth taking. But I will feel hurt because I've liked Zouma. I think he's good for the dressing room. He has been very loyal to Chelsea. He's been very committed to Chelsea. He gives his all on the pitch, even if sometimes he makes a mistake. You can see it hurts him when he doesn't perform well. I like him. I think a lot of the players have always liked him. So I wouldn't be keen to see him go. And I hope the rumours are not true, unless, as I've said, the two reasons I gave are the reason for it.
Yeah. That's everything you said is a fair point. His aerial ability is terrific, and it's something that with Baggy TV and Burton Boys, that's something that whenever we have like a discussion surrounding corner kicks and everything. One thing that, especially with the season that just ended, you could realize that you could start relying on Zuma. You could feel a bit confident if you have a corner kick that he'll either clear it or he can score one. So if he does leave, that's going to be a huge factor that we're gonna lose, that the advantage that he brings to the team. But also, like you said, he's a player that he cares about doing well for the team, and he's one of those type of players that you can have respect for, because he cares about the team. He's not a player who is really that causes a lot of trouble behind the scenes. He's a player who's calm. He you know he's apparently his middle name is Happy Zuma, and you can't really see a moment where he's not really happy. He will be angry when he's in game and everything, similar to Rudiger. But he's a player that has a good personality. He's a positive person, and a lot of the players will say that about him. So this really came as a shock to me, because obviously there were rumors that he was going to leave in the past, but I thought we were past that, and probably something worked out with him, probably give him a role in the team and not let him feel that he's not important, because although he isn't really valuable in that back three, he still offers a lot, and he can still put out a performance. Especially, we saw that under Frank Lampard, and he was crucial, and especially with the impact of Thiago Silva, having that player beside you, that experience, it did help him, because he had that confidence to stay back and progress, and rely on Thiago Silva to cover him so he can get back in time. So yeah, like you said, it's surprising to hear that Roma probably could get him on loan and then an option to buy, or Tottenham were looking to get him as well, or Everton. So yeah, like you said, it's not a player that you can really be like saying, okay, well, this is long overdue or something along those lines. So yeah, I agree with what you said.
From a pragmatic point of view, it's not a good move to offload Zuma. Thiago Silva next season will be just a bit older, and I think he will be 37 by the end of the season, and he's beginning to get a few niggles now. So that means our centre backs will be without Zouma, well, really only Rudiger and Christensen. And of course, you might get Aspie coming in there, who doesn't have the same physicality as Zuma. And I understand that Tuchel likes to use Reece James in there, and he doesn't have that physicality of Zuma either. It's not
Mm,
a sensible move to offload Zuma. I don't think it is at all. I have my doubts about that rumor. I really do. I think there are, Chelsea is an interesting club. There are detractors out there. There are journalists that put things out there more out of what they wish will happen more than actually what will happen. As I've said, if it does happen, Chelsea will really have something up their sleeves to replace him, because he is a good defender. He's valuable to the squad. He's come in at so many times where we have either lost centre backs due to injury, suspensions, or or whatever form. And there are some, or the need to rest some as well. And Chelsea's centre back four at the moment, I think it's unnecessary to tamper with them. They've been very successful for the club, and all the clean sheets Tuchel kept when since he's been at the club. And the only thing I can see happening is that we should try and start to bring someone like Mark Guehi into the squad and blood him a bit if we don't send him out on loan. But to do something silly like to get rid of Zuma just like that, I don't see the wisdom in that at all. I'm not sure that's going to happen.
yeah. That's true. And yeah. Like you said, there will you'll have journalists and you'll have reporters that will say things that things that they want to see happening, and especially the ones that are quote unquote called reliable. They'll use that power that they have to let fans believe that this is the case when it's far from it. So, and one example is that with Hakim Ziyech, and there are reports saying that Hakim Ziyech is going to be kept because Tuchel has a plan for him, and Columbus Nadur is another example. And so you have to take these rumors with a grain of salt, but you also have to look at it as well, because you have to think about the fact that he is, even though he's a calm player, he will want to play games, and he is, if I'm not mistaken, 28 or 29. So he's in that what you'd call the prime of his career. So he's gonna want more game time, especially the fact that he was a part of a squad that won a Champions League. So he's gonna want more game time. He's gonna think that he deserves more of the game time that he's getting. So, like you said, yeah, you have to take this with a grain of salt, because these rumors will come out. You'll hear things like this, and sometimes you'll be far from it. So, yeah, I agree with that, and you have to be careful with what you believe.
Yeah, I support what you're saying. I mean, if Zuma is pushing for the move, which is highly unlikely, that's a different matter. As for game time, well, if he goes to another club, there are very few clubs that could keep him in a squad and give him over 25 games a season, like Chelsea have. We talk of game time for Zuma, but Zuma has played a lot of games last season, because we've had a lot of games to offer him: cup games, league games, Champions League, and so on. And next season it will be even more. So I have my doubts. I get your point. Probably he wants to be perhaps a mainstay, perhaps more of a central figure at his age. Yeah, possibly. That doesn't sound like Zuma to me, but it's a possibility. And if he's angling for the move, then it's a different matter. But if it is a media thing, then it doesn't wash with me.
Yeah. Welcome to the stream, DJ Sam. And you're on my other stream for my other channel. Welcome back.
Big up, guys. You guys all right? Good to see Bobby on here as well.
Hey DJ, hi. Always good to see you, mate.
It's always good to chat to you guys, as always. Yeah, I'm just hearing a conversation regarding Zuma. Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise to me. I, for one, did not want him to go, but it looks like Tuchel has other options that he's thinking about playing next season. It looks like more likely he's probably going to stick with the back three, even though there's talk of him changing it to a back four. And I just think he probably thinks that Zouma is not going to be that kind of player to play the back three that he wants, which is a bit of a surprise because I think the guy was quite lethal for us in terms of scoring goals as well. I think he's one of the defenders I think you can rely on when it comes to corner kicks, that you know he's just going to get you a goal regardless because of his leaps in the air and his power with his headers. I'm a bit surprised he's going. I'm only assuming they've obviously thought this one over, and they probably think there's other players in that defence that can probably come in and do a job. Obviously, we've got 6 competitions to play next season, guys. This is one of the main reasons why I'm a bit surprised he's actually going. To be fair, I don't know if it's because they need to sell players to raise these funds for Haaland, or is it just we just need to get rid of the dead wood, as we say. But I've never ever counted Kurt Zouma as one of the dead wood players. If anything, I thought he was actually one of our best performers last season, just for what he was doing. I know he had the odd mistake in him, but tell me what, Rudiger had the odd mistake in him as well last season. Christensen the same. So you can't really say, and even Thiago Silva is the same as well. So for me, I don't know. It's a bit of a strange one. But if he does happen to go, obviously, I'd just like to say thank you, Kurt Zouma, for everything you've done. Gutted you're leaving the football club, but I just hope you move to Roma if you do go anywhere and nowhere else.
Do you not think? Do you not think it's really left to be seen? It doesn't smack of a sensible move. And the funny thing here we've got at Chelsea is that yes, we need to make sales. That's very clear, but our sales are valuable players, really. Yeah, Giroud's an old player and that, but he's still very efficient and he'll be useful to a club, certainly in Serie A. Tomori, well, I'm still smarting over the fact that we sold him so cheaply, but we're not really getting rid of the dead wood, the dead wood. I will jump for joy if I hear a sale of someone like Batshuayi or Drinkwater. That's what we need to get rid of. Not players like Zouma and quality. I just don't get that. I know you got to have takers to make a sale in the first place, but it's frustrating. So the worst thing is that someone like Batshuayi now has a year to go on his contract. I may just decide to run it down. I would give him away, to be honest.
Bobby, I'm in total agreement with you. I mean, you would not think that, out of all the players, Zouma would have been one of those plays. I mean, if you look around that squad of ours, who he can actually get rid of and still get money for, you can still get money for Drinkwater. Okay, might not be much, but you can still get money for him. You can get money for Zabacosta. You can get money for Bakayoko. Obviously, Giroud is going. I mean, there's talk of Tammy Abraham. I don't know if Tammy Abraham may even be going anywhere now because this whole Haaland deal is taking so long to get over the line. I'm just a bit worried that we might end up with getting no one come the start of the season, and that is going to be a bit of a concern. And this seems to be the Chelsea thing, isn't it, Bobby? We saw this happen the last time. A manager comes in, whatever his situation. He came in halfway through the season. He won as a Champions League. He got us a fourth spot position, and yet the club cannot go and back him with players that he wants. And this is what we saw with Conte. And if it's going to be the same history repeating itself with Tuchel, this is another mistake on Chelsea's mistakes they've been making in the past. I actually thought they learned from their mistakes, and they actually thought, we can't let these kind of because these managers are not going to. These good managers are not going to keep up. Are not going to come up and coming managers are going to keep coming in. I mean, who are you eventually going to go and get to? Who are you eventually going to bring in eventually? Who's going to say eventually we want this job? Everyone can say, yeah, it's the Chelsea job. Everyone will take it on. But at some point, someone will actually say no. And, it's disappointing because we really, really need to back Tuchel and get him what he wants, because I just think next season, the competitions we're playing in next season is going to be vital for this squad. And we need the experienced players around. And for me, Zouma's one of the experienced players around in that team. I mean, what do you guys think on that?
I think you're right. having said that, there are managers that have declined to come to Chelsea.
Mm,
Um, what's his name? Guardiola being one of them,
yeah,
and Klopp being another.
yeah,
Having said that, I don't believe the Zuma tale. I really don't. There's
mm,
always these things that flag up at Chelsea around transfer time. It doesn't make sense, as you said, because of the number of games we've got no more next season. I mean, the coming season.
mm.
Chelsea only need to make one or two signings. We
Agreed,
do have a
agreed.
good squad, and we made some good signings last season. I'm not worried yet. The Euros are still going.
Mm,
Somebody in a chat, I don't know whether it was even Tyrell's previous chat.
mm,
I watched, or was it RCBN? I can't remember, but they reckon that after the Euros, we may suddenly see the appearance of someone like Declan Rice, which I can see happening. And
yeah,
Tuchel likes
it
him.
looks like it.
I honestly, DJ, I believe in the Haaland
Process.
project.
Yeah, me
I,
too.
I, I I think it's going to happen. It's a big deal, man. It's a big deal. We're dropping some heavy money, and we're not PSG. We're
Hmm.
not, Barcelona and Real Madrid that will just spend money thoughtlessly, and end up in trouble because Barca and Real, believe you me, are in major financial trouble. And the only reason PSG is still afloat is because they're owned by a country. But I don't see a lot of sense in what they're doing. It's like every financial, high finance player, young and old, goes there, and that's why there's bad chemistry in that team because their
It's true.
recruitment is crazy, and they're benching people willy nilly. You
Yeah.
only hear of players going in. You don't hear of players going out. I mean, what is that? They must have like an 80-man squad or something. So, what we're not
It's
like
true,
that.
mate. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not like that. We're very thoughtful about how we spend money. Even though we have money, we don't do it stupidly. And the Haaland deal is big money by anybody's level. Anybody,
Yeah.
that is big money. And it's going to take time. I would like to believe some of the rumors that I hear that a lot of the agreements have been made already. There's strategy in announcing whatever stage we're at because we're trying to
Mm,
sell, and we don't want to scupper our chances of selling for a good price. Because once we announce that Haaland deal, the dynamics will change. People will know we want to sell, and they will play hardball.
yeah.
Everything will change. So is the later it's announced, the better. I
Yeah.
still have faith. I think this deal will happen. It's gonna rock the football world. But how many times have Chelsea done that? That's the Chelsea thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's part of it. I think it's different. I think we will back Tuchel. He's done too good. I mean, which Chelsea manager came in first time? Okay, you might say Di Matteo, I guess,
Hmm.
but he came in and dropped the Champions League, mate. Crikey,
Yeah.
we got to back him.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, bro. No, I totally agree.
Yeah, 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 and it's different with Tuchel. It's different with Tuchel as well. You can I said this previously. Di Matteo, yeah, he did come in. It was a bit later as well. I think it was in March or something like that. I think AVB was sacked. So yeah, it was a different situation. But I mean, the manner that Thomas Tuchel did it in, with the same players that were quote unquote called Deadwood months before. So yeah, and like DJ Sam said, it does get frustrating, because eventually who are we gonna get? Because we wanted Tuchel since 2018, and then we couldn't get him, and then the same time that we got Frank Lampard, it was difficult for us to find a manager that would come in right after Sarri left because of the manner and how quick Sarri left. So we were in a difficult situation, and we had to get Frank Lampard. There were rumors that said that Ralph Rangnick was a manager that wanted to come to the club the same time that Lampard got it. So yeah, so if we don't eventually start backing managers, we're gonna be in a position where we're gonna have the same situation that Tottenham had, where it took them a lot of time. They had to go from Brighton manager to Wolves manager, some other managers who would turn them down. So that can eventually become us. So we need to start backing managers. And I get that this sacking this those chop and change used to work, but we have been on a decline, and we need to start backing managers, especially with the payoff that they get, is if we sack them. So I think we need to start backing managers, and give them a chance to build something instead of sacking them when they're 1.5 month 18 months in to their contract, or 2 years in, and just give them a chance to make their mistakes. And as long as it doesn't mean we're getting relegated, then just back them. That's it. But hopefully it's like Bobby said, it's we will be back in Tuku. And like you guys mentioned, there will be more games. It's not like we have less games. We do have more games. We won the Champions League, so we will have the Club World Cup to think about. We'll have the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup. We have the Champions League again, and the Premier League. And as people set the aspiration to winning the Premier League, some I don't know why. That's gonna be difficult because anything can happen. On like RCBN was saying on the previous stream I did today. God forbid, another like a Thiago Silva gets injured, a Christensen gets suspended, or something along those lines. What's gonna happen? We can't only have Rudiger playing, and people might have a shot from like Mark Gurley, or someone along those lines. But if we do let Zuma go, and if it's a situation like Bobby said, where he wants to leave, then you can understand that he wants game time. That spirit, he's a player that deserves game time, so you can understand that. But you have to be cautious. And like something Bobby was saying as well. I sound like I'm echoing what Bobby's saying, but basically what he was saying was is actually true. Because if you're planning to because it's down to the club as well, if they allow the player to leave the way that they do. So if they allow him to leave, they're going to also have to have a backup plan to who's going to come in. So that's why having the tie to a new backup centre back required. So do you think that's a situation that might happen?
Tyrone, can I just address one thing about the managers at Chelsea?
Yeah,
I have to say, to be fair, I think the last sort of trigger happy manager Chelsea got rid of was probably Ancelotti. For the past 10, maybe even 15 years, if you look back at the managers that left Chelsea, there was always good reason. I mean, AVB was sending the club down the league we were dropping like a stone. He had to
yeah,
go. Um,
yeah,
both times. The first time Mourinho left, although this is before AVB, he wanted to leave. The club
mhm,
didn't want him to leave. That's what a lot of fans didn't know.
yeah,
When he came back, he lost the dressing room, and it wasn't until we were 1 point outside the relegation zone that Roman, who is a winner, gave the all clear for Emanalo to pull the trigger. And it was sad. He didn't want to do it. After him came the likes of forget our interim managers, but the likes of Sari, who basically used Chelsea as a stepping stone to Juventus, and wasn't prepared to stay with Chelsea through the difficult time of not having a transfer market.
yeah,
Then we got Lampard, who Roman personally liked. But after the first season, in the second season, come January, it was clear that Lampard had lost his way, and he was not really experienced enough to handle a club of the size of Chelsea with the kind of players that had come in. Now, yes, Roman had courted Tuchel for a long time, but when Lampard had exhausted his capabilities, it was only then that Roman looked and said, "Look, what's the point? I may as well get this guy I've always wanted, and let Lampard go now while he still has face to save." Because what people have forgotten is that even though Lampard was sacked after poor performances and taking us down to ninth in the table, which is not this is no good for Chelsea, especially after the investment we made. He has still left with his head held up high because of what he did with bringing the youth through, because of what he did with standing by the club during the transfer ban, and because he's a hero and he's he's a legend anyway. So Lampard will never be looked at badly by Chelsea because of what he has done with the likes of Mason Mount and so on. So I don't think we are just getting rid of managers as the media would like people to believe. I think Tuchel is here for the long haul. This piecemeal contracts that's been made with him is a failsafe because if anything does go wrong, the club is fed up of doling out a lot of money in compensation. But I think they'll be very happy to keep renewing his contract, especially if he's successful, which is all Roman wants. So the manager situation is not as precarious as it may seem. I think Tuchel, if he wants to, he will be here for a long time.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
yeah,
just had
yeah.
to get that in.
Yeah. I agree with that. And yeah, you're 100% right about the Carlo Ancelotti situation. And a lot of fans, especially older fans, who say that that's where the most, rootless decision that was made by the club, and that was to sack Carlo Ancelotti. And I mean, it was a bit harsh because I mean, sure, we didn't we won the league the season before, but second place and he sacked him. That was a bit harsh. Again, that we didn't win anything, but second place, that's still a good finish, especially with the players that obviously we had like Frank Lampard still and players like that, but we did lose some players. And Carlo Ancelotti is a great manager even right now. And the issue that he had at Everton is he didn't have those same person that he had when he was at Chelsea, where you could see a win like 8-0 or a 6-0 or a 4-0 wins like that. And that's something that Chelsea are looking to try to return to, because you can see that we do create the chances to win teams and to destroy teams by more than 4 goals or 2 goals, but we just don't have the personnel that can do it on a consistent level. And that also has to do with a new era of players, we know, with the mentality where, and I said this previously, where they, if a player scores 1 goal, they're just satisfied. They don't care about scoring a hat trick or anything. And so they'll score a goal and they just try to create a chance for another player. They don't try to score as much goals as they can. Try to score a hat trick times two, score 4 goals in a game. They don't have that mentality, and that mentality is something that you might see at Liverpool or at Man City or things like that, where you see they have the mentality of wanting to score as much goals as they can, get as much convincing wins as they can get. So things like that is things you won't really see as much unless you get players that actually have a mentality of destroying teams by a much goal. So I agree with everything that you said, especially with everything that you said, especially with the reason behind why they left or they got sacked. It's really spot on, because Jose Mourinho did lose. He did lose, and that's a situation that has happened at Man United and Spurs. He did lose it, but Spurs, that was a foolish decision by Spurs to sack him at the moment that they did. But I mean, with Man United, he lost the dressing room as well and everything. So I agree with everything that you said. So yeah, thanks for adding that in, and I know a lot of people will appreciate the fact that you brought that up.
Yeah, just one more little thing to add about the managers. Every manager that I think after the spontaneity with which Roman got rid of Angelotti, I think he really sort of repented of that. He regretted it, and he resolved never to do that again, and he never did. Um,
Mm,
and every manager that has worked at Chelsea is on good terms with Roman. Perhaps
yeah.
apart from Antonio Conte, who's a miserable
Yeah.
so and so anyway. But apart from him, everybody is in good terms with him. Roman buys some. Who was it? He bought a car. after he had left. Was it Mourinho? Or he does things for people. He's quite a generous man when he wants to be. So I don't
Yeah.
think there's any manager that has worked on at Chelsea that has any angst with Roman Abramovich, even though he did get rid of them, apart from maybe Antonio Conte. But he has angst with everybody he leaves.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to just back onto will a backup centre back be required in terms of do Chelsea have to go into the transfer market, try to find a centre back that will be accepting a rotational role in the team. Do you think that that's what they might have to do, or do they look to Mark Gohi or Ampadu or someone along those lines?
I'll let DJ go. I've talked a lot.
That's a good question, Taryn. I mean, for me, I mean, you say, do we need to get a centre? You're asking the question: do we need to get a centre back in who's going to come in and play that role of only getting a certain amount of game time, and then he knows where his place is going to be, especially if Tuchel knows what his back defence is going to be. It depends on really who we're looking at. I mean, if you look at the links that have been happening over the last couple of weeks, it's been Varane 1 week, it's been Akunde another week, and then it was Sula another week, and then it's and then again today we were linked with some young kid from Germany. He plays for a German team, but he's a French player. He's only 21 years old. Yeah. And the other one was Tosaba. I think is that the one. There's another one called Tosaba as well. I mean, there's two of them. There's two of that have been mentioned. There's Tosaba and there's another one that was in today's news that came out. I think I put that on a tweet earlier on. He's another one that seems to be another one that Tuchel seems to like. It looks like to me that Tuchel wants to work with young players, and I think when you look at what we've already got at the football club, you look at Mark Gohi, you look at Abiamba, sorry, and you look at Malan Sarr, who can all come in. The question I then have to ask is, if you're going to go and buy these young defenders, then surely you give one of those three the opportunity to come and do that kind of role, not go and buy. Unless, I mean, for me, if we're going to go and buy someone, then you need to get someone who's, I won't call him a big name, but someone who's a bit more experienced than those players. I mean, there was talks of even Ramos before he joined PSG. So yeah, I mean, if we're going to go and bring in an experienced player, then yeah, by all means, go and do that. Bring one in. But if you're talking about saying just adding another player to the squad, then for me, we don't need to do that, because like we've already alluded to here, is we already have Zouma there, who I don't think we really need to sell, but it looks like he's going to go. And obviously, if Zuma's going to go, then you surely give those other defenders a chance. I mean, we've also talked about those three, and I think you just talked about the other one that's coming back from loan, the Ampadu, another one who can come in there as well. So we have got those positions literally filled in. It's just a matter of them obviously learning from an experienced defender, and obviously who's no better than Thiago Silva. I mean, to learn from. So yeah, for me, I think for me, like Bobby's just said, and I agree with Bobby's, we don't really need to go in for a centre back. I think we should just concentrate all our efforts on Haaland and maybe a holding midfielder. I think that's all we need, and possibly obviously a goalkeeper to come in, obviously, because we know Mendy's going to go to the African Cup of Nations, so we have to bring in a goalkeeper, to come in and obviously come in his place when he's not there, because I certainly don't trust Kepa to take us through when Mendy's not there. So they're the main three positions I would look at, and cannot just leave centre back how it is and just give one of the youngsters a chance there and to play alongside one of the best defenders in the world in Thiago Silva. You can't learn any better from someone like him in your team. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, Bobby, go on.
No, I totally agree. From the rumours I'm hearing, I mean, since lockdown, it's been a while since I've been at Cobham and in and around any of the youth setup. But some of the rumours I heard when Mbayamba came, and from what I'm hearing now, I really think he is the one that is being earmarked, probably even more so than Gerhi. to hang about the first team squad if anyone's going to this season. I know the sort of formal plan was in his second year, which this is, he would go out on loan, which could also happen. But they're eyeing him up a lot for that, for a successor at some point in the centre back position. And I totally agree with DJ. It just doesn't make any sense getting rid of Zouma. It's just it just seems it's a weakening move, not a strengthening move, if I can put it that way. And that's not the sort of moves we will be making now, not as European champions.
Yeah, yeah, that's a fair point. I want to move on to this question that Chelsea Perspective asks, and it's surrounding Zuma. And it's why so Zuma. Well, I know you mentioned it, but Bobby, I know you had spoken about it, but Chelsea Perspective one kind of missed it. So you just have what are your thoughts on that question?
Yeah, again, big up Chelsea Perspective. Yeah, I totally agree. The question you're asking is the same question I think we're all asking at this moment in time. I think it's not the right move to do. I know a lot of fans. There are some fans, section of fans that are saying Zouma was always going to be the one that could be, if you like, the slaughter to the lambs. If you like, the one that was going to be sold if anyone was to leave in that back defense, in that defense. I think personally, it's probably the wrong move to do now. I think we need, as I said, we need to have experience in that defense. I know there's obviously we've talked about Thiago Silva. We've obviously talked a bit about Rudiger, and obviously Aspie's still there. But for me, we just, I think it's the wrong. I personally think it's the wrong move to do. Unless, as I said, unless we're going to go and bring an experienced defender in there, then I can understand us doing that. But if not, he should really stay. He should stay and let this Abiamba come in and learn. I mean, if Mark Guhi's going to be sent out on loan, then let Abiamba learn from these guys. And if they need to sell Zouma maybe next season, sell him next season. By that time, Abiamba will actually learn from. He's learning from a load of good defenders there of what he needs to do, and I think he could be obviously the one that will take us forward in the coming years. But for now, Zouma, no. As I said, I've been saying it. I think we've been saying it already. He should not be the one to be sold. I think it's a big mistake we're doing there.
Yeah. I want to quickly read this report by Football London.
Yeah.
So it says ex-Chelsea boss Jose Mourinho could provide Blues with £28 million transfer windfall with move rumored. The Portuguese reportedly has his eyes on the defender who could potentially depart Stamford Bridge this summer. Former Chelsea boss, can't see it. Former Chelsea boss Jose Mourinho could potentially provide the club with a £28 million transfer injection as he is reportedly eyeing defender Kurt Zouma. Reports from Telefoot in France suggest that the Frenchman is expected to leave Chelsea this summer with plenty of interested parties eyeing his signature. As per the reports, the Blues' Premier League rivals Wolverhampton Wanderers have had an offer rejected by Zouma himself, whilst the likes of Everton and Tottenham Hotspurs are also potentially interested in the move. Meanwhile, there are also admiring glances from abroad from Italian giants AS Roma, who are possibly interested in a loan deal with an option to buy by transfer market, and has just 2 years remaining on his current contract at Stamford Bridge. The Frenchman has endured a roller coaster period with Chelsea since his 2000 from Saint Etienne, then hugely for the next few campaigns. The 26 in the side under former boss Frank Lampard. Despite enjoying a promising start to the 2020-2021 season, he made just 10 starts in all competition under Thomas Tuchel, which included just one appearance in the Blues' glorious run in the Champions League. He is presented with plenty of defensive competition in West London at the current time. The likes of Antonio Rudiger, Andreas Christensen, Thiago Silva, and Cesar Azpilicueta are all capable of playing at centre back, whilst Malang Sarr has also returned from his loan spell at FC Porto and could be another option for Tuchel. Should Zouma depart for Roma, he would become the second Chelsea defender to swap the Premier League for Serie A after Fikayo Tomore's permanent move to AC Milan. So yeah, that's the full report on the rumor of Kurt Zouma, possibly leaving the club. And reading this also gave me another perspective of this, because I mean, they mentioned the fact that he on obviously it was a similar situation when we won the league. I think it was under Jose Mourinho. I think that was his first season. He didn't really have much of an appearance really in that. He did make a few appearances in the Premier League alongside John Terry, and he was crucial there as well. And he has, if you look at it, he has been successful at the club in some aspect. Obviously, he's won the Premier League. He's a part of the squad that won a Champions League. He wasn't there for the Europa League, but he did do great. He did do great. At Chelsea. So things like this is interesting because the fact that they mentioned Fikayo Tomori, which Bobby you mentioned previously, um that is something that is frustrating, especially the amount of money that we got out from him, leaving the club. So that's interesting. But what do you guys think about the reporting for?
Sorry, what was that,
Um,
Tyro? What was that question?
I was
Sorry.
asking I was asking what do you guys think about the reporting for? Do you think it's something that you can really focus on? Because uh, Bobby and I were saying that you have to take these reports with a grain of salt.
as I said earlier, there's a lot of media journalist angle to this. They're posting pictures of Mourinho, saying Mourinho's going to buy him, and that. And yeah, I mean, it's possible because Mourinho actually liked Zouma, and I'm sure he still does. And anybody would want Zouma in their team. And I think it'll be more acceptable for Zouma to go to somewhere like Roma than Spurs. I think if you want to see a riot, sell Zouma to Spurs. So I I don't know. I still doubt the story. I don't think I will believe that Chelsea will do this unless I see them either looking to beef up the money for Haaland or looking to maybe bring somebody else in or showing that they're going to promote one of the academy lads. That's the only way this will go through. And if they're looking to promote one of the academy lads, either your Mbayambas or your Gearhees, I don't think Ampadu is going to make it now at the club, sadly. I don't see him as a centre back. He's not good enough. He's not big enough. He's not fast enough. He's not good enough on the ball. So it's either one of those two, Gearhee or Mbayamba. So unless that's the angle, then sadly it may be true. I don't know. Somebody said the Zuma's 28 now, 29. That surprises me. Is he that old? Wow.
I think the
Years have
report said
flown
he's
by.
26. I think the report said he's 26.
Yeah, I think that's more like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
he came as a very young man, so he's still a young man, and he would still fit the profile of this Chelsea squad. So doesn't really make too much sense to me. But you never say never in football.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Tone. Total in agreement with what Bobby just said. Echo everything he's literally said and always do, because he always spits out sense, Bobby. And it's again, he said the same thing of what we've been saying all along. There's still, I cannot see this actually. If it does happen, then then obviously I'll say, okay, I'll hold my hand up and say it's going to happen. But I really can't think for a second unless we have actually got, like Bobby said, we're going to promote, or we're actually going to bring somebody in to replace Zouma. I really cannot see Chelsea just letting him just go, because he's still one of our experienced defenders we have at the football club, and we would need him there next season, regardless of him not getting much game time. But he will see more game time next season, because as I said already, we're in 6 competitions next season, and we're going to need a big squad for next season. And I think one of the things you say in a big squad is you need experienced players, and he is one of our experienced players there now. He might be at 26, 27 now, but he's still one of the experienced lads at the team, at the football club. So we will need him there for sure. But as I said, unless they've got somebody already in place that we don't know about. But as I said, it'll be silly. I can't see it happening until that actually happens.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. So yeah, that it's interesting. It really came out as a surprise, as we all have been saying. And if it ends up being true, then I don't remember who said it, but what do you guys say? Thanks to Zuma for everything that he's done. Yeah, he has done terrific at the club, especially when he has had an experienced player who's there, who's supportive, who's a terrific support system. So he's done great at the club. He has had some major success at the club, and he has been crucial on many occasions, especially with the season that just ended. So yeah, so if he does leave, then it will be a bit disappointing for me because of how great he has been. But good luck to him, and at the end of the day, it's his career. So um you know for the last few period, I didn't really get to finish what I was talking about on my other channel about the Euros final. So I'm the omen god these days. So I just remember this. I like to do my research.
Yeah.
And the research I found was that in 2012 Chelsea won the Champions League. Well, every Chelsea fan knows this. And Italy lost the Euros final in 2012. So could this be a repetition of history? And will England end up winning instead? Because 2021 Chelsea wins the Champions League final, Italy in the Euros final. Could this be uh 2012 remake? Everything would be replica of everything that happened there. So that'd be hilarious. But could that happen? So that's not to omen. I want to just add that in. I didn't get to say for the Euros part because of the news that came out. So yeah.
Should I let Bobby go on this one? Because I did give my opinions on it earlier on, mate. I don't mind giving it again, but I thought Bobby, because Bobby wasn't on the show for that one, he might want to give his opinions first on that.
So what you mean about the omens and the Euros and
No, this is finals. The finals. You can
the
mention, you can
finals?
tell me what you think about that omen, but you can also, but I'm talking about like the finals. What are your thoughts? What are you expecting? What do you think the game will bring?
Well, first of all, I'm very careful with omens. Making a comparison of what happened in 2012 to now. In 2012, we won the FA Cup and Champions League double. We didn't do that this time around. So I don't know what to take out of that in terms of its value. In the finals, as I've said in many chats, this is a very difficult one to call. As an England fan, I have my deep concerns. Deep concerns. I have not liked the way we play. And when we came out and actually started showing what we're about against Denmark, what did Southgate do? We took the lead, then he pulled off Grealish and brought on another defensive player. He plays fear football. And my concern is because defense is Italy's thing and they're very tactical, this sort of fear and cautious football could work against us. Having said that, he's very robust, and the team is very robust. And I think this is the best chance England has had in decades to be able to win a major trophy. As I said, it's hard to call. I can't call this one at all. I really can't. If Italy wins, it wouldn't surprise me. If England wins, it wouldn't surprise me. What do I want? Well, it's obvious. An England win would be fantastic. It really would. Do I dare to dream? I don't know.
Yeah, as I said earlier on in your show, earlier on, Tyrone, I think I know what Bobby's saying about all that. I'm going to be a little bit. I'm just going to go a little bit better than that, Bobby. I just think if we can't win this year, and we got to a major final after how many years of doing it, and we can't win it this year, I don't know if this team will ever win. This England team will win anything. I mean, the team's improving every year. We know we've got great players coming. We got now in the team, and we're going to have some more coming in years to come. But this has surely got to be the year that England can actually go on there, and they've got no excuses realistically. They're playing at Wembley. They don't need a crowd to. I mean, they've got the crowd first of all to obviously to cheer them up, to cheer them all the way. But this is a game that they should just go out and think, you know what, we got the crowd. It should be victory in their heads. But as I said all along, and I've said this from the time when we reached the final, Italy is not going to be an easy team to break down. I mean, they've got to this final for a reason as well, and that's because they've been playing really, really, really well. I mean, I think if you think about their stats, they've not been, as I said earlier on, they've not been they've not been beaten since 2018, and I do believe that's when Mancini first took that job role on. So this guy's got them playing some really, really, not only is he getting them playing good football, but he's getting them he's got them solid at the back. He's not making them win. He's not making them lose games. They are going to be a tough nut to crack. But as I said, this is more of an. I think the reason why the omens are slightly with England on this one is because, as I said, it is at Wembley Stadium. It's on the big stage, and this is more or less a chance now for England to go out there and Gareth Southgate to go out there and say, look, let's put a foot on this game, and let's just go out there and try and win it, not just for us as players and individuals, but as for the nation in general. So it will hopefully be a victory, and come Sunday we'll be celebrating everyone that England have actually won it. Because 1966, as I said all along, is too long for this country and nation not to be winning anything. So we need to get that sorted out. We really do.
Yeah. I quickly want to reply to this message. I'm not sure if the person is still here. I'm not sure who this person is. But I don't really like to reveal like these really personal information that much. But my birthday was is gone. It was on the 20th of June. So yeah, but I don't really like to give like personal information or like that. But yeah, and I appreciate what you said previously about this. I'm not sure if the person is still here, but thanks for that. I appreciate you saying that. I am looking to pursue something along these lines. So I guess this is probably a bit of practice for that. But obviously it'll be in front of a bunch more viewers, hopefully. But yeah. But I appreciate you saying that. So yeah, I agree with what you both said. I heard what you said previously on the other stream, DJ Sav, and what I was saying as well is that for those who didn't see that, I was saying that this game will be similar to the Denmark game in some aspects, because if you think about it, it's gonna have to be about who takes their chances, because Italy, like you said, DJ Sav, they made it to the final for a reason. It's about them working together, playing with togetherness, playing together as a team, and not only as even as an individual, or trying to do individual brilliance or anything. So yeah, it will be difficult, and it's going to be down to who takes your chances, because this game will have a lot of chances. There'll be some moments where You possibly might see some saves that are unexpected, but the game will be interesting. It will not be a boring game. It will be interesting, or at least I hope it will be. And it will be down to who takes their chances because it's going to be like DJ Sam said, not DJ Sam, Bobby said, it's very difficult to call because it's down to who takes their chances. And I mean, like he said, it's down to who will do what needs to be done. And I mean, if whoever wins it, it will not be a surprise because they have done it and they've shown that they, in some aspect, have what it takes to win.
Absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't have put it better myself. It's
Yeah,
going to be an interesting game. I watch a lot of things being said and people having opinions about it, and rightly so. It's going to happen. It's a big deal. It's a Euros final at Wembley. But every time I think about that game, and I just can't call it at all. I can't call it, and I don't want to fool myself and think, oh, England's definitely going to win it. Wow, that Italian side is a good side. They know what they're doing. And it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if they, with their know how, win that game. I just keep saying that point of caution. However, having said that, we do have the players to take their chances. If you give Kane a chance, he will take it. Um, Raheem Sterling, just as much, perhaps a little less so, but just as much. We've got the strikers, we've got the midfielders, if we allow them to play, and we have the flair players in your Sanchos and Grealish. I personally think England have to take the handbrake off. This is a final. Go out there and show what you've got. Let us see the real England, which we've not been able to see because we're playing fear football, you know, low blocks, crowding the midfield. That's all well and good. Typical Premier League, lower team stuff. That's all well and good. It makes us look solid. But I think we are a far more frightening prospect if we play our game. And I don't know if Southgate will. If he does, wow, I think it is coming home. If he doesn't, I'm not so sure.
yeah, fair point. Fair point. So I think I'm gonna end it here. It's been a lovely discussion, especially with the Zuma situation and the little discussion on the Euros. Getting your thoughts on it, Bobby, and everything. So I appreciate you guys coming on to discuss the Zuma situation and to give your little thoughts on the final once again. Um, for those who will be watching this after it's done rendering and it's a video, or if you'll be able to see it immediately after, please remember to like and subscribe. Actually, not just like, smash the like button as well. And I said this previously. If you're a Chelsea fan, when you click that like button, it turns blue, and blue is the color. So just click it, and you'll just make us. You'll make me smile, and you'll let me know that you like what you saw. So just click the like button, smash it, and just let it turn blue. So I'll know that you liked it, and it'll add something to my day. So thanks once again, you two, for coming on, and I'm gonna end it here. Before I go though, DJ Sam, you can once again you know just say your social. I know
Yeah.
Bobby, you told me previously that you're not a person that really cares much about that, but and if someone does it, then that's great. So I'm not gonna ask you to do that because I know that you don't really care much about it. You'd appreciate it. You said that previously. So yeah, I'll put the link in the description as well. But you can say what your social is, DJ Sam.
Yeah, first of all, Tyrone, thanks a lot for having me on your show, bro. It's been a pleasure chatting with you and chatting with Bobby as always. Please, like Tyrone said, everybody that's in the chat or anybody that knows Tyrone, please subscribe to the boys' channel. He's been doing very, very well. His channel is growing. It's high in the Chelsea community at the moment. He talks a lot of sense. Just come and subscribe to the video, like it, and tell all your friends and family and everyone about it. As for me, if anyone wants to follow me on Twitter, you can do. It's DJ SavJ17 at DJ SavJ. Follow me on Twitter. I do try to get as much information as I can on all things Chelsea. I do tweet quite a lot of things as well. So anybody that wants to come and follow me on there, please do. And as always, it's a pleasure being on your show. As I said, Tyrone, big up to you, bro, and big up to Bobby as well. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, DJ Sav. Do you have anything else you want to say, Bobby? Or that's it?
No, that's it. Thank you for having me. I've actually stayed longer than I
Yeah, yes.
intended, but it's all good. It's always good. I think you guys are all doing fantastic work. I love all the networking I'm seeing, the support coming from people like Michaela, DJ Sav. The Chelsea community is becoming a well-oiled machine. The content is getting better. I'm just so proud of you guys. I love what you're doing, and please don't give up. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. So that's it, guys. Um, remember to like and subscribe once again, and I'll see you guys for the next stream. On my other channel, which will be in the description as well, to possibly have a review for the Euros game, which will be taking place on Sunday. So, peace, guys. Have a good one,
Peace,
and
guys. Take care.
stay best and stay safe. Peace.